Ta-da! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries, happy Thirsty Thursday. Speaking of thirsty, I think I have some Java sensation. Ta-da. There, it woke me up. Well, we got something new for you today. We got a guest. And my friend Bo, my co-host, he's in there somewhere. I'm going to go get him. But we're going to talk a little bit about real estate. And we're going to talk a little about relationships and how to stay in touch. And who knows where it may go, because sometimes it does go out there. Let me go see if Bo is available. Let me see. Hey, dude, there he is. Hi.
Good day, fine sir.
You made it.
I'm excited. Today's exciting. This is a big day today, huh?
Is it a big day?
Yeah, well, lots of reasons, but a big day, most importantly, because of our surprise today. Special guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I'm ready.
I was just hyping it up. I really don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's going to be great. It's going to be good stuff. Excited to be here yet again for another Thursday. You had reached out and said, hey, are we still on for this week, right?
You never know.
Of course we are.
Holidays, you know?
Of course we are. It's going to take a major event for us to not.
It's always good to check, though.
It is good to check. You're right.
Otherwise, just sit and tap your foot waiting for it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
You said, no check. Give you a little reminder. I forget things. I'm 64 going on 65, and I forget things.
Okay.
So fair. If I remind you and then I forget, you'll remind me that I reminded you, and then it'll keep me in line.
You've had to hold on a lot more in that brain of yours because you've been on the earth longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just what you're supposed to forget some. Let's go get our friend Sean.
We have a friend.
For those that don't know, we've got a guest on, and he's a coach, and he's a local guy here in the Twin Cities as well. So we've got him from both sides of me, the east side and the west side. Bo's way over on the west, and Sean's way over in the east. Let's go get that dude.
And you're right in the middle.
There he is.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Top of the day.
How you doing?
Top of the day to you as well. I'm doing well. I'm glad you guys both, between the two of you, remembered that this was going on today. So you're like the bookends. You got each other backed up. So that's awesome.
You have to.
It's very
you have to take advantage. You know, I sometimes schedule emails to myself so that it reminds me of things. Or sometimes I will just, if I have an idea, I'll email it to myself because I'm knowing I'm going to check my email in the morning.
Yeah.
I text myself, so I do the same thing. So.
You ever heard of Copy Talk?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I don't even know if it's still around, but when that came out or was kind of popular years back, that was a cool thing that literally you just started talking and it would give you this reminder, right? So as long as your phone was nearby, it was, I don't know, it was slick. But I had heard people like literally wrote a book using Copy Talk. They just spoke, and then someone takes that, cleans it up for you, and then sends it back out to you, right? So somebody literally wrote a book by just speaking their thoughts and letting an editor kind of clean it up, right? I think it's pretty cool. So,
well, that's one of the wonderful things I like talking about is the technology, and you can overuse technology, but I speak into my phone to write my blog posts in the morning when I wake up at 3-4, because I don't do this good. I'm not a type person, so it's easier just to talk into it, and then I do check it to make sure I didn't say anything wrong, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Sean. The typing thing is always fun, except for I'm old school, so I always end up having whiteout on my computer screen.
Yeah. It looks terrible, doesn't it? You go through monitors like crazy.
Yeah.
We don't often have a guest. I don't know if we've had one that I remember, right? Didn't we, Brad? We had Jim McCord. But here we are. We have a guest, a guy who is really quite a stud. Let's just put it out there. You've had a great year, right? You've made some positive changes, right?
It's been a fantastic year, yeah.
Career and your health. And I think it's a great opportunity for you on this platform, if you will. Just share a little bit about you, and because the people that follow us a little bit don't know maybe who you are, what you're doing. But you're awesome.
Well, first, I feel really honored to be in the top two of all your all-time guests.
Yeah.
I mean,
usually we're so selfish. We just talk about ourselves. It's ridiculous. So
well, hey, we get value out of it. So, well, I'm Sean Waite. I'm out of Hastings, Minnesota. Grew up in Minnesota. Grew up in St. Paul. Went to high school there before going in the Navy. And I do coaching. Did mortgages for about 15 years and made the transition about 4 years ago now into coaching sales industries, mostly mortgage and real estate. So this last year, I started up my own company. Left a fantastic company, wanted to try this whole go on my own thing and be an entrepreneur, and it's working out pretty good, man.
It's awesome. And you, would it be fair to say you as a coach probably have your own coach?
Yes, I've got 3 actually.
Yeah.
3
I think that is one of the coolest things about coaches, right? That they understand the value of the coach, so they embrace a coach. Not every industry or every career path does that, right?
Well, and it's the strengths, right? Knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and I know what my weaknesses are, and I need someone to hold me accountable and to give me ideas. So,
yeah,
and it's cool because then I can just pour into others.
My wife is a coach. She does like spiritual and life coaching, and she used to be a teacher at the University of Minnesota. She's taught Spanish, and a teacher is a good student. They learn things, and this blew my mind because I've been self-employed all my life. Still just trying to make things work. When she got into it, I tell her she always deep dives. She always goes in the deep end of the pool, and she's just like immersed. And she joined a program, and she started making $10,000 a month in 3 months. 3 months, all of a sudden she was doing 10 grand a month. And I'm going, what in the world? It was just amazing. And part of it is because of working with coaches that helped her go through stuff, because without a coach to tell you, I'm giving you a little props here, Sean.
Oh,
We've got a couple coaches.
please go ahead.
Because we get into our own thing and we start talking to ourselves. And coaches, they're kind of blunt with stuff, whereas a friend will kind of say, well, yeah, I guess that's okay. Coach,
I understand why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Your life's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. And they get into that other place because you can sit and talk to yourself. You can learn videos and you can read books, but you're reading the book and you're interpreting it to yourself. When you get a third party involved, I'm talking about me and myself, talking to myself, that's 2. And then you get Sean involved, there's somebody else that can say, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. And it probably worked back in the 70s and 80s, but you know what? There's this new thing called the internet. Huh?
It's so crucial because I say, people say knowledge is power. And I say knowledge is potential power. Right. It's just like physics. If someone's sitting there, and it doesn't move, it's got potential, but if you don't give it that shove, it doesn't matter. And so many people just don't implement.
Yeah.
And I know how to do push-ups. I know how to do sit-ups.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't do them, I can't do them for you either as the coach. Right. And
I wrote that down, Sean. That's solid insight.
Well, it is.
And the big part of it, right? You're talking accountability.
Yeah.
You're talking, hey, you help decide yourself. You probably pull out of people what their goals are. Mm-hmm. You probably help them reach a little further beyond that. But the key is you're holding them to the fire, right? And making sure that they are making effort towards the goal, right?
And I want to twist just a little bit with the accountability part. It's not so much I'm holding them to the fire. It's more I'm reminding them the commitment they made.
Okay.
Because so many people, we can explain away if we if we're interested in something as opposed to committed in something, right? I'm interested in getting in better shape. I'm interested in doing follow-up. I'm interested in automating my follow-up program and having stuff end up in a mailbox instead of an inbox, right? But if you don't actually implement it, it doesn't matter. And my job a lot of times is just, hey, Bo, remember where are we at with this week? Oh, this week was so hard and so terrible. Yeah, just like last week and the week before that and the week before that. It's just helping keep it up front and reminding people that they're the ones. I didn't come up with your goal. You came up with it.
I remember hearing Les Brown talking once, and he says, if you make excuses for yourself one more time, I'm going to let you keep them.
There you go. You can either have excuses or results. Can't have them both usually.
Yeah. One of the most profound, I was working with T. Harv Eker online. And he said, don't blame, complain, or justify.
T. Harv, he's just a great example if people haven't read his book. He started in real estate and just crushed it and then went off into other things. A lot of people know him from The Secret, but he started in real estate, I believe, with a RE/MAX office and just became number one. And it's, you guys all know Zig Ziglar, right?
Yep.
he talks about motivation. You know, motivation is great, but so is bathing. You know, that's why we recommend you do
Can't
it
say
once
that
a
while I'm
day.
drinking coffee. I almost spit out all over my screen.
Well, that's what he says. It's so true. Is there's discipline and there's motivation. How can I, as a coach, help somebody with those things that are inertly in there? I can't put them in there. I can help them flourish, but I can't put them in there. So
yeah,
it's
That's
reading
why
and being
a lot
motivated.
of marketing coaches talk about what's your passion, because your passion is going to pull you through stuff. You can't really push yourself around, but when you wake up in the morning and go, you know what, I got to go do this, then you're excited about it. But Sean, you segued into real estate, and that's kind of what we're talking right here, is real estate. We're going to talk about real estate and building relationships, because real estate agents, they're a dime a dozen, right? You go to any networking event and there's somebody with a business card that has their face on it. They're all over the place. So how can a real estate agent end up being different than the other real estate agents? Because like we've been living in an apartment for a long time. And then we had a house in Golden Valley, moved to Asheville, an apartment. Then we moved to an apartment and we decided to get a house. If someone didn't stay in touch with us, who's going to get the business? Our old realtor did not stay in touch with us, and we got a new one.
There was a study done by NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, a while back, that said 80% of people would have used their old realtor again because they had a great experience. They just don't remember who it was. I mean, because in all honesty, this stuff only happens every 5 years, right? And you might think, man, I'll never forget this person, or they did such a great job. They'll never forget me. I did such a great job for them. It's just not how life works, right? People forget the particulars and what's ever in front of them at the moment. A lot of times, boom, I'll take advantage of that. That realtor's at the open house. Yeah, sure. What the heck? Before I have to go back and try to figure out who my old one was, who sent me a Christmas card 4 years ago, but I haven't heard from since.
Yeah, we talk on this show, fairly often about how people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Yep. But that last part but they also have to be remembered. Yeah. Right. At the time of acquisition or purchase. So if you can be lovable, right? You can be fun to be around, you can be this and that. But if you are not present at the time of making that decision, then that's what happens. Somebody else slid into your space, right?
Yeah. And if you're not top of mind and they're not a raving fan, that's just how it is. And that's why you have to stay in front of them in different ways.
Right.
And physically being top of mind. I mean, this time of year is perfect. I mean, a bunch of my clients, we sent out gifts and set it up on automation drips so that it's constantly in front of them when and even more, not just with them, but their referrals, right? The holiday season, people are going to be meeting with family and stuff. And, my niece just had a baby. Well, okay. We call them memory joggers or life events. And if I'm going too far off tangent, reel me back in.
Keep rolling.
But if you're out with the holidays and meeting family, if I'm a realtor or a mortgage person as well, because they align up very well. Somebody just got a new job, or someone's kid's graduating from high school, or they just had a baby. Those are life events that trigger, maybe they want to buy or sell, right? And most people, they go, hey, do you know anybody who wants to buy or sell? As opposed to, and your person goes, no one's mentioned that to me. But these life events, especially when you're at holiday gatherings, those can be great referral opportunities, but only if you're staying in front of your people and you're top of mind. Yeah. So they go, oh, Bo said, hey, do you know anybody whose kids just got their driver's license?
Sure.
So as a life event, if a kid gets a driver's license, what can that mean for you, Bo?
Right. Well, we had a new client. We get proper protection for that kid, right? And I would say you're talking about like the holidays, right? There's people gathering, there's families together. So you can talk about the timing of that staying in touch.
Yep.
So if myself in the insurance space, right, or maybe in you in the coaching space, if you had sent a holiday greeting, a holiday gift to someone, right, that had impact, that was a little more than the usual. It wasn't a standard card with your brand all over it, more or less celebrating you, not the recipient, right? Mm-hmm. And they talk about it. They received it while company's around. They grabbed the mail, and now company came in and it's still sitting on the counter or whatever. Then you talk about that word of mouth that happens. They're sitting there like, where did you get that? And then it becomes a conversation. You literally kind of have built-in referral that just took place because you use something personalized, right? And I know for those that may be watching the background here, we all know each other from one networking group, Accelerated Global Connections, out of Twin Cities where it started. And that's so cool that it's brought us all together, right? That's awesome. We got to give a shout out to that group. But the staying top of mind, we all use the same service, right? Along with other things. There's other things we have to do to stay top of mind and stay in touch with people. But this mailbox power concept, it truly is something that can eliminate revenue threats, right? I mean, in its simplest form, it can remove or prevent revenue threats by helping you stay top of mind, by helping you show greater appreciation, by inspiring referrals, by standing out from your competition, right? And to think almost all that can also be automated is just remarkable to me, you know?
No, the consistency with and any realtor or mortgage person watching this, and most salespeople, right? The consistency is the thing.
Yep.
They don't do it. And so all of a sudden it's now, December 23rd, which as three guys here, we'll start our Christmas shopping tomorrow, probably, right? But, if you didn't have this stuff going in November and getting out in front of people, you're probably just doing, I hope you don't mind me saying this, the same half-ass job you did, the last 5 years when you meant to, to get it going earlier and you didn't. If you can get stuff like this on auto and have packages that are set up, man, that's just killer.
Yeah. And I to that sorry, Brad, I'll say this one thing and then I gotta be quiet. But I think it's worth saying that realtors and mortgage professionals and everybody, most have really good intent.
Mm-hmm.
They really do want to do something. They want to send something as a thank you. But it's just too much of a process, right? So intent is there, but the execution is where the failure is. And a guy like you that comes in and you partner up, and if you're in the real estate space and you don't have a coach or your coach isn't helping you move the needle, connect with Sean. Absolutely connect with Sean. And Sean's someone who's going to remind you of the importance of staying top of mind and staying in touch. Right.
Well,
and the fact that you have a tool
is,
in your toolbox to say this is one that works. Right.
And the beautiful thing is they already all know that, right? We just don't implement.
They just don't implement because it seems hard. So if you can make a process easy for someone and remind them the importance of it, and then somebody receives something and immediately the light bulb is just like, oh my goodness.
Well, sometimes
totally doing this.
When people are staying top of mind and they're always networking, they're always sending me a card with their business card in it. Eventually, it gets subtly irritating. It's like you always just begging and asking, and it just gets irritating. But like Bo sent me one of those cheese. By the way, for those that don't know, we're all involved with the same company. It's called MailBoxPower. If anybody wants to know anything about it, you can contact either. We'll get him on.
Can I throw out there, Brad? Only if they want to increase their business and be more consistent.
Right.
If you don't want to do that, if you don't have enough time for that, don't reach out to us. If you don't want to make more money,
Just so that everybody knows that it's an affiliate program, and I know that some people get that confused with network marketing or that pyramid thing, and they get scared. All affiliate marketing is saying, "I use this tool, I like it. You should check it out too." It's like referring a movie or referring a restaurant. So if you're interested, you can get a hold of Sean Waite right there. I've also got my friend Bo, betterappreciation.com. He's got his website for better appreciation. And I've got one called the magicmarketingtool.com. Magic Marketing Tool.
I got to step up my game. I mean, I've got mine, but not.
I know. What is this?
I got to step it up. So
worth mentioning. I think I have about 15 different domain names.
I've got lots of domains and they're all hooked up doing their own thing. And I'm just into this automation thing. MailBoxPower's got some amazing stuff in it, but I've got some stuff hooked up. So when the sun rises, it does stuff, or when the clouds come out, it does stuff, or when the clouds go away and the sun shines, it does stuff. And then I just try and stay in front of people. And that's what's been working for me for years. Sometimes I do things that don't make any sense. Yeah. Like here's a card that I sent out.
I love it, by the way. I got mine.
I got that one from you too.
Yeah, and it's I couldn't think of what to do. It's Rudolph in a snowstorm.
I got to tell you, Brad.
Get it?
You even prompted a reaction from my teenage daughters, and my.
Did they roll their eyes and go? Oh.
Well, no, like it was like a chuckle. Like, oh, that's
reaction.
pretty good. So you win.
But it's not my idea. A friend of mine told me he was going to make a T-shirt like that. I don't know if he ever did it. He's an ex-friend, by the way. But well, that's why I thought I can justify this.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, with MailBoxPower, that's one of the other great things is there's so many different templates. You don't have to be a designer. You don't have to be. I mean, I'm incredibly dull and have very little imagination, but I can go in there, right, and find out where the real creative people and the really talented people. I'm like, and there's a term out there now, R&D, right? Rip off and distribute or something like that. You know,
not research and development. I see.
You know, and you can go in MailBoxPower and there's all these great ideas. Quick story is, so for one of my friends and a business associate, I did I used the cheese tray. I don't know if you guys have seen this, right? But you can put, you know, with the laser engraving, I put a date on there for them. I know that's going to be out during the holidays.
Right.
And I know people are going to be like, oh, that's so cool. Where'd you get that? You know, little things like that to prompt. And we're not doing it just to get business. We're doing it because we care and we want to.
Absolutely.
But hey, if you can hit both sides, there you go.
It's
But
also kind of fun, though.
Here's the difference, right? Many in sales, many in business would have sent a charcuterie tray or a cutting board that has their logo on it, right? And it may come out, and I'm not saying reluctantly, but it may come out, but it's not going to be a topic of conversation necessarily. But when you took yourself out of it and made it about them, that date is a date that mattered to them, right? Or their name or whatever it is. When you do that, it's a different thing altogether. They remember who sent it to them. And when somebody says, oh, where'd you get that? Then it comes up. You didn't have to be the center of attention by logoing up. Am I right?
Totally.
I think it goes the opposite direction. If you're doing a family gathering and you've got some cheese board out with a logo on, that's kind of like, it's tacky.
For a lot of people, I was going to say I agree because I know realtors who would send out, like in the South, send out umbrellas with, you know, beach umbrellas with their big logo on it. And people didn't want to use it because they, you know, it's like if someone wants to put up I'll just say Eddie Bauer instead of a Walmart Great Lands or whatever it's called, you know, that's, you know, unless it's a super high end logo. Most people
I used to go to those trade shows all the time, and you get these little pens and stuff, and I go, "That's really a nice pen." And I grab out an X-Acto knife and I scratch off the logo. It's a nice pen.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got a pen from you that kind of had scratches on it with your logo on it. What is?
That's the way to do it.
Are you repurposing? Is that what you're doing?
He's very
put
good.
my logo on your pen. Hey,
So-
look, we got it. Our friend Mike is wishing us
Top
a
of the
Merry
morning, happy
Christmas.
holidays, Mike. Mike's a consistent commenter on the.
He's got all those Christmas trees on there and a whole bunch of Santa. Look, it's
I don't know how you do
Santa.
that. I don't even know how to do that. So,
Santa's
Sean,
got
what's it look like
extra-
with you? If somebody wants to set up a relationship with you, or have a chat about your coaching, you know, is it something that is you contract for a year? What's it look like?
So I'll just kind of give you the lowdown. My niche, the people I work with best, the reason I went on my own is mortgage and real estate people who have been in the business at least a year. They're middle level, right? But they want to take it to that next level. And this next year, I mean, in all honesty, the last couple of years, it's been pretty easy for mortgage and real estate with the way rates are and house prices and such. But a lot of people I'm working with now are like, crap, what do I do next? That's the people I love to work with. I do work with branch managers and brokers, but I really like that kind of the middle level person because I like to think out of the box and be creative and find different ways to build business. MailBoxPower being a huge part of that because the creativity and for closing gifts, all these different things you can do.
Yeah.
But for me, I do a free consultation. I'm taking on, after the beginning of the year, I'll probably be taking on maybe 5 more people, 5 more clients, and then I'll be working on some group coaching as well.
Okay.
But I do a free consultation. And the biggest thing I say is people is if you're sick and tired of what you've been getting and you said, oh, 2021 is going to be my year, which is the same thing you said in 2020 and 2019 and 2018. And, you know, you see all these, you know, the memes are coming out now, right? 2018 was the teardown. 2019 was the buildup. 2020 was the comeback, you know?
Yeah.
If you've been posting those same memes, you know what? Maybe it's time to invest in yourself Most people spend like $2,500 to $3,000 a year on their car with oil changes and maintenance, but they don't do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
If you want to move the needle, man, give me a call, or, go on my website. We'll set up a free consultation. But I only work with people I like to work with.
Yeah.
And
you want to make sure that they're as good of a fit for you as you are for them.
Exactly.
Right?
Because I don't want to work with somebody who's like, well, and I don't have a contract. I asked for a 6-month commitment because it takes that long to reestablish habits or put in new habits.
Right.
But yeah, if you go, Sean, and I go, Bo, you know what? I can refer you to somebody who might be a great fit for you because I know a lot of people. Yeah. But I just want to work with the people that I'm aligned with. And
I'm a fan of we're going to give you an opportunity to succeed elsewhere. Okay. Yeah. Which means we're not a good fit for each other.
Yeah. Exactly. Like people, when they get fired from a job, it's like, well, if you weren't a good fit there, now you're open and free to go, find you the right fit for you.
Again, alignment is the key. I think it's really important if you're not vibing with each other. But if you are.
What about so you mentioned the group. I mean, I like the concept of that because there's something about holding yourself accountable, not only to a coach, right, but to peers or other people that are kind of not so much your level, but it's one group you don't want to let down, right? We let down our kids, our spouses, we let down people, and bosses, and that we do, unfortunately, but you don't want to let a peer down. And so if you're in a group setting and there's some accountability, if you will, right, that using that word a little loosely there, but it can be really effective along with the one-on-one, right?
I'm going to steal a term real quick here. The synergy of it is incredible, right? I mean, and that's the thing is some people don't like groups because they don't want to be held responsible. They say they want to be held responsible, but they really don't want to, right? But when you're in a group where it's people who don't have as a third-party coach, that's why I work so much with mortgage and real estate. Even if they have coaching programs in their office, even I've gotten great results for people because I call it professional suicide. You're not going to tell your boss, yeah, last week I didn't do jack because I just didn't feel like it, right? But with me, I have my only interest is helping you get where you want. So lying to me isn't going to save your butt on anything. But with the group coaching, you have those other people who are there to push you, and that you can be open with, even if you've got a coach or a manager or a mentor or something like that. Man, having that extra accountability and that, we all go through stuff, but guess what? I mean, like you guys, having you guys as cohorts and connections and stuff like that. Yeah, we all have bad days in business, but the three of us are like, yeah, okay, that's great. Now, what are you gonna do about it? Right. Where you have your, friends or family, like we mentioned earlier, who are like, it was a tough week. I understand. I had it tough too. Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up and understand your reasons, but not give you passes on BS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a different take on that. I'm going to share it. Then, Sean, I'm going to put you in the green room so you can enjoy some of those digital low-cal hors d'oeuvres we got back there.
I thought they were no-cal.
Well, some have a bit or two, a bit or a bite or two.
All right.
A little digital calorie. Because you can get fat online. I've seen it.
Okay.
It's a filter on TikTok and makes.
I just put a meme up about that. It showed us the Spider-Man work from home.
So my little bit different take on there is the accountability element, but when you're in group coaching and someone else is up on the hot seat and they're talking, all of a sudden you get an idea, an aha that, oh my God, that would work for me, or Jesus, I should have been doing that years ago. So that's where the synergy comes too. You might not be right in the spotlight, but you might be in the back and you go, wow, that was something I can use here.
And then you can take it to the next level because you chime in from something that I didn't think about.
Totally.
I'm in a real estate group on Clubhouse right now where that happened, where it's like, hey, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, well, gosh, if you did this, and if I did it, right? And also we're like, wow, that is such a great, but we didn't have the foundation and the separate building blocks. You can't build up.
Yeah. Brad's been good about saying 1 + 1 is 11, right? That whole synergy. It's not 2. And I agree with that. And going back to the group thing, I mean, I was in a group for the last maybe 5 months, 6 months. that I was invited to with an opportunity to check it out. And the ideas that this is an insurance specific group, and the ideas that were flowing around that group, I took a heck of a lot more than I could have ever given. Right. And for that example that you hear from peers, you hear somebody in a similar space that's incurred and it had the same experience or a similar experience, and this is how they went through it. Right. I think there's real power in a group setting, but there is tremendous power in the one-on-one. It really is. So offering both, I think, is awesome.
And that's where I want to take it. I believe if you back to Zig Ziglar, you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And if I can serve, I had 3 coaching calls this week where all 3 of them, 2 females and 1 male, said, "Hey man," at the end we said, "Hey, love you. Have a great holidays." I mean, that's the kind of thing, that might sound cheesy to some people, but for me and another guy to be able, client Todd, to be able to say, "Hey, I love you, man. I really appreciate you," stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I mean, I can throw out all kinds of information, and in all honesty, everything that I teach and any coach teaches is basically already out there.
Sure.
Right. I mean, you can go and find it on Google. You can do all that. Just most people, I'm going to go find it, or
I think a lot of people, when they get into business, all they think about is the business, and they don't realize that the relationships you build in business might be someone that's going to help you change your tire when you're stuck on the freeway.
Or take you to that $10 million level, right? I mean, it's all you don't know.
Yeah,
someone might help you. I'll tell a quick story because it's funny. I used to produce these trade shows, and there was a guy, my old business partner, Rick, the Expo guy, Martinek. He was talking to a guy on the phone, and the guy was like, "Oh, I don't know, $695. That's kind of a lot of money." And Rick says, "Look at it this way," because the guy was saying that we never got any business out of this. And Rick was saying, say you're at the show and you start talking to your neighbor next to you because there's no traffic. You're all pissed off and angry because there's nobody there. And you start talking with them. You end up being good friends. Then you start going out, hanging out together, having a few beers. And then all of a sudden you start going together and going out to dinner with the wife and the kids. And one day they invited you over for Thanksgiving, and you're over there with your family and their family, and you're chewing on your turkey. And all of a sudden you get it in there. You start choking, and the guy gets up, comes around the table, gives you the Heimlich maneuver, bone comes out of your mouth, and he saves your life. Wasn't that worth $695?
It's great sales right there. Yeah.
There you go.
But it's true.
There you go. A little bit of humor. I'm going to put Sean in the green room and then chat with Bo. Sean, thanks for being with us today.
Can I just say one more thing to the realtor mortgage group?
Okay.
So many people say, I don't want, I can't afford, or I don't want to spend money on, I don't want to spend $150 on my client, a client during the year. 5% of your database either refinances or purchases or sells each year. If that's 100 people, that out of 100 database, that's 5 people. The average loan officer or a mortgage person might be making $2,000 to $3,000 per transaction. If you got 5 more, that's 15,000. You could go plug in $5,000 into MailBoxPower and get set on automated and triple your investment.
Absolutely.
Not your spending, right? Your investment. So
absolutely.
Do it.
That's why I love these 40 cents postcards. I can send a lot of postcards before I go backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John. Merry Christmas, pal.
Brownies. Yay. I'm going in the green room. See you later.
But the MailBoxPower brownies are much better than those digital ones. They got flavor and they can make you fat, and they're good.
10 seconds in the microwave with the side of ice cream, and you are taken to another space. You know what I mean?
Yes, exotic. Okay, buddy. I'm going to pop you in there, say hi to Sean, and I'll come and join you guys in a second.
All right, buddy. See ya.
See you.
Merry Christmas.
Well, there you go. That was it. I'm going to sign this one off because we've gone 34 minutes and 23 seconds. Choices. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good. Be kind. Be nice. Have a happy holiday. See ya.